That is the sound of a distracted, divided, and dead American until they hear. Battle for Freedom, triggering change, one heartbeat at a time. Hello everyone, I'm your host Watson Prene from Battle for Freedom on Mojo5 Radio, and I'm glad that every last one of you are joining me today as we close out this week. It is Friday, and time to have some fun here as we talk about the whole idea. Oh my goodness, what are we talking about today? We're talking about operating chaos. Lost in the theory, operating chaos, lost in theory. My website's battle4freedom.com if you want to learn a little bit more about me, but I also want you to go to mojo50.com. This is the reason why you get a chance to hear me and many other different voices that are available to you on this network called Mojo50 Radio. If you want to interact, you can go to facebook.com/Mojo50 Radio, just like I see Kathy. Good morning. Thank you for being part of this and joining as we sit here and we just talk about chaos and all things chaos, all things virus, elections, and everything else that you can imagine. So thank you for participating. Share this out. Share Mojo50 Radio out with everyone. Share Battle for Freedom out with as many people as you possibly can. And let's just have a great day. So today I want to talk about, there's a lot of chaos. There's a lot of chaotic things going on right now. And the reason why I want to share this with you is because of the fact that there is this issue that we're dealing with in this country. A lot of the news, a lot of the stuff is just chaotic because there are things that we believe were already there, but no one wants to talk about it, and everybody wants to now act like it's a serious thing that we should discuss. Oh, we're going to get into all things COVID. We're going to get into the Fauci emails and so much more but there's this principle of chaos that's been going on for so long. I'm telling you, the highest principle of chaos that you can deal with is not having American Pride Roasters coffee.
That's it. I've hit the snooze button a dozen times, and now I have to finally get going. But I'm not going to do this day right if I don't start it off with a cup of American Pride Roasters coffee, the official coffee of Mojo50 Radio. But I'm not going to lie to you. They have a wide variety of blends, but I'm leaning towards the one that's named after me, Watson's White Chocolate Caramel. You know what? It sounds as good as those words that just rolled off of my mouth. Listen, get it today, AmericanPrideRoasters.com. Tell them that Watson from Battle for Freedom sent you, and you want Watson's White Chocolate Caramel Blend to start your day off. Join American Pride Roasters Coffee and Mojo50 Radio, and most important, Battle for Freedom, as we celebrate the best coffee in the nation. American Pride Roasters.
American Pride Roasters coffee, shared out with as many people as you possibly can. And while, as I stay here talking about chaos today, maybe I tell you about the chaos that can come to a quiet if you look into New Life Holistic.
Does your mind seem like it often shuts down before it even starts? Sounds like you need to detox to improve your health in body, mind, and spirit. I'd like to tell you about New Life Holistic. It is an amazing therapy process that uses neurofeedback and biofeedback for many issues that ails everyone. New Life's method and approach to health, balance, energy, and vitality is what sets it apart from anything you have experienced ever before. Call 1-833-4-BIO-LIFE and tell them Watson from Battle for Freedom had sent you. One more thing. Give them the code MOJO50 and save $50 off of your first session. The consult is free. New Life Holistic.
Share out New Life Holistic with as many people as you possibly can, because this is how we help them recover in the midst of all the chaos. I want to talk about operating in chaos. Oh, I see that. I see Lep that's there. Lisa, Josh, and Jill, thank you very much for being here. Lep says that today is Happy Free Donut Friday to everyone, so I guess it's Free Donut Friday. You can catch Lep tomorrow on Ain't You a Peach, tomorrow on Saturdays. You just listen. If you haven't subscribed to Ain't You a Peach on Mojo5, not Mojo5 Radio, but on Facebook, do me a favor, listen in, check it out. Is just as informative and sometimes as insane as what we have this Sunday night at 8 p.m. with the Off Track Syndicate. It could be just as crazy and hilarious. It's just whether or not you want your mind tickled or you just want to reflect on things. That just determines on you. And there's a lot, again, like I said earlier, there are a lot of different voices that you can hear on Mojo 50 Radio that you'll enjoy. You have the Mighty Oaks you can check out tomorrow. You have Defending 2A with Jason Gouffre tomorrow. You have Room 13. You have the Bells of Liberty. You have Pat Oney, Matt Holloway, and so many more. I can't remember them all, so I just need you to do that for me and just go to mojo50.com /schedule and check out the different hosts that you can listen to. And also Linda, Tim, and Carrie, thank you for joining. So today I want to just talk to you about this whole idea of chaos, because there's a lot of uncontrolled chaos that's going on here. And so this is chaos theory. So I'm looking into chaos theory, a branch of mathematical and physical theory that deals with the nature and consequences of chaos and chaotic systems. As we sit here, chaos theory, because one would have to admit that there's a ton of chaos going on in this country, in this world, with all things COVID, all things socialism, finances, faith, morality, all things chaos. When we look at the chaotic summer we had last year, as critical race theory and racism and systemic racism and all these different things are being pushed down our throat as though this is the norm. Let me see if I can find this other definition that was given. This is from Britannica. No, that's the wrong one. That's not that one. This is the one I want. Chaos theory in mechanics and mathematics, the study of apparently random or unpredictable behavior in systems governed by deterministic laws. A more accurate term, deterministic chaos, suggests a paradox because it connects two notions that are familiar and commonly regarded as incompatible. So what we're doing is we're making connections to things that people don't believe. It's the idea and the concept, the science, it's incompatible. So when you hear conspiracy theories, when we hear conspiracy theories, and Kathy says, I knew math was hard for a reason. Yeah, I love math. I really love math. I love the complexity of it because it can get me into a lot of trouble with my brain processing that information. As you sit here and we look at, they push the conspiracy theories. As we sit here and we look now to new emails, thousands of emails by Dr. Fauci of what they knew and what was going on with the virus and the concerns that were happening. That you have what was it a Trump? Yeah, here. Let me show you this one, because this one's very interesting. As you sit here and you look at how they tried to silence the information on what was going on here. So State Department staff warned officials not to investigate Wuhan's lab gain-of-function research because it would open up a can of worms and expose U.S. funding. Career staffers at the State Department warned officials not to do this, and they said that Thomas DiNanno, a former acting assistant secretary of the State Department's Bureau of Arms Control, Verification, and Compliance, raised concerns in the memo reported in Vanity on Friday or Thursday. He wrote that staff from two bureaus, his own and the Bureau of International Security and Non-Proliferation, warned leaders not to pursue an investigation into the origin of COVID-19 because it can open up a can of worms if continued. We knew this. We knew this. And most of us, we didn't have to have a degree. We didn't have to be in a federal company or a federal, actually most considered the way that our biggest our government is, it would be a federal company. We don't have to be part of a federal organization to figure out what was going on with the craziness of the virus. What we talked about with the lab, bats. Are you kidding me? You got bats in our belfry. If you want to sit here and have an obsession with bats, but here it is that we find out that what we knew, what we always told you about, and see, this is the crazy part about it. As quote unquote new revelations come out about what Fauci knew, and can we even say Dr. Fauci? Let's just say what Fauci has said. That if you want to talk about chaos, as we sit here and we look at all this information of what's going on, Dr. Fauci and Fauci flipped at least 10 times just last year alone. Now, as we sit here and we look at this, I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm going to come back to this in a minute. They knew exactly what was going on and they chose not to do anything. Operating in the chaos. See, this was never about saving lives. This was always about creating chaos and control. Chaos and control. Chaos and control. Here's another issue that just... 17 teenage boys in the U.S. developed heart inflammation after second dose of COVID vaccine and were taken to a hospital. An article on 7 U.S. teen boys in several states published on online Friday in Pediatrics is among the latest reports of young men getting heart inflammation after their second COVID-19 vaccination, though a link to the vaccine has not been proven. See, this is the thing about it. It's interesting how... and it's amazing how, Kathy, she's an accountant, so and a data analyst, and actually I believe that Andrew Coppins from the Coppins show, but critical thinking comes on 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Monday through Friday, and sometimes, and he's joined with Pat Odie, who has the Pat Odie show that comes on Saturdays. But another, I believe, data analysis or numbers analysis or analyst. And as we sit here and we look at these numbers and we try, how is it that there are a lot of speculations that are made towards finances, made towards the markets, made towards how viruses work, how diseases spread, how society moves. I mean, literally, when you look at social media is one big experiment operating in a lot of chaos and seeing order in the midst of the chaos, predictive order in the chaos, predictive behaviors in the chaos, actually even controlled behaviors in the chaos. Because you have to admit that social media is, and I'll come back to this in a minute, that social media is one big, huge, chaotic experiment. Billions of different personalities coming together in one controlled environment, or quote-unquote controlled environment, or censored environment. They've already done the analysis. They run algorithms on trying to basically control how things operate in the midst of the chaos. They ran algorithms to determine how far they anticipated that this virus would go, the effects of the vaccine. And again, it's not a vaccine, it's a test. It's an experimental drug. It's being pushed off as a vaccine and it being mandated for people to take this in companies. Even IU, Indiana University Hospital, is now mandating that employees, you have until September 1st to get your vaccine shot with proof that you have the shot or proof that you can't have the shot. But it's either or, and if you don't have that proof, and for a lot of you who are concerned, again, there's a lot of things that's unknown about this experimental drug being pushed in a lot of people's systems. People developing blood clots, people developing heart inflammation, people dying. For more than 4,000 people dead because of the different various vaccines that if it was more than 5-10, it should have been pulled. But we have 4,000 dead. But companies keep pushing that people operating in the chaos because they use the string theory, chaos theory, a whole bunch of other different theories to presume that it's safe and consumable for other individuals to take this experimental drug. And so as we sit here watching how they are pushing this through, forcing people to take this thing here, they don't fully understand. There's so much that they don't even understand, but companies and countries are willing to just push this on people, making them believe it is safe and there's nothing to worry about. Side effects like there's no tomorrow. The boys studied between ages 14 and 19 received the Pfizer shots in April or May and developed chest pain within a few days. Heart imaging tests showed a type of heart muscle inflammation called myocarditis or myocarditis. This is very interesting. This is. Hey, Sarah, thanks for joining, and as well, Carolyn, thanks. Good to see you. As we sit here looking at this, we knew what was we knew this was problematic. We knew that we didn't want to mess around with this stuff. We didn't want to have this in our system. But everybody's saying, hey, companies strongly feel that it's safe. Even when you look at the memos from IU Hospital as they're trying to sit there and let me see if I have this on here for you. As I sit here. Let's see if I have the direct memo from IU so that you can understand. Oh yeah, yeah. So this was in this was posted on June 1st. COVID-19 vaccine required for all team members. IU Health will require COVID vaccines for all team members, affiliated physicians, medical staff, volunteers, residents, fellows, students, contractors, and vendors. All COVID-19 vaccines currently authorized in the U.S. are safe and incredibly effective. Here's the problem. They're not vaccines. See, by continually using the language that is a vaccine instead of an experimental drug to yield a vaccine, it's easy to use the verbal gymnastics to continue to push this through as though this is actually an FDA-approved thing. If it's an FDA-approved thing, why are these companies that are making the vaccines, quote unquote, seeking FDA approval if they are vaccines? They're not vaccines. They're experimental drugs being used, being called vaccines. They're not even proven true and proven effective. If 4,000 people are dead, it's not effective. There are many other drugs where 20 to 30 people lost their lives and were pulled from the shelves. But we still have these drugs out there causing inflammation, causing blood clots, affecting births, and so many other different things. Affecting so many other different things. There were women who were like, I'm pregnant and I'll gladly take my COVID vaccine. And their child ends up with the COVID less than a month from the time that the baby is born. And the child is born with COVID in their system. So let's see. This new requirement will help protect patients, visitors, and team members and reduce the spread of COVID-19. It will not reduce the spread of COVID-19. It will not reduce the spread of COVID-19. They've even told you it doesn't reduce the spread of COVID-19. But look at the verbal gymnastics. And this is what's really sad, that hospital officials can actually push this nonsense through. That they continue. These are the doctors. These are the scientists. These are the people that we're supposed to trust that they're making the best decision that we can follow on. And they're using lazy language that's not even appropriate or even consistent with science and knowledge that we know. You have until Wednesday, September 1st, to be fully vaccinated and report proof of vaccination to the Employee Occupational Health Services. Get it or else. Get it or else. I try not to scream. I'm trying not to be angry. Amen, Carolyn. Trust not man. See, this is the scary thing is that we sit here and we watch this thing over and over and over again is being pushed out as something that it's not. It's hard not to scream. It's hard not to scream and want to just say, you know what? This is ridiculous. The rest of us who cannot or do not want to get the vaccine, give us a country. Give us a country, or even just give us a state. Let us all live in Texas, and everybody else, you can take the rest of the country. I mean, folks, let's seriously, let's move, or whether it's Florida, whether it's Texas, let us move to a state. All the people who want it, if you want a vaccine, go to another state. Just give the rest of us who do not want the vaccine or cannot get the vaccine, give us a state where we can be together. We can all be this huge human experiment of people who are living without the vaccine. May get COVID, but we choose that we're gonna be part of that. What is it? 99% of the people who survive getting COVID, they don't die. They get COVID and they move on. Not to the other world, but they move on with life. I don't understand why is it so imperative to have a drug, an experimental drug in our system when there's a 99% survivability. More than that. There's a 99% survivability from becoming infected with COVID that the vaccine is not required. It should not be required. But operating in this chaos, because these are the people who promote themselves as a scientist, and they strongly feel that this quote unquote virus is safe. But we keep giving you, and Facebook continues, and social media keeps continuing to just censor and get rid of. YouTube has lines and lines of things that you can and you cannot say. What you can and cannot say. And they'll strike you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Here's the thing about it. Never in the world, never in the history of the world have we seen such direct censorship of information and knowledge, and the idea of penalizing people for sharing an opinion, especially YouTube, especially Twitter, especially Facebook, in an age of diversity and inclusion. Because here's the thing about it. Then let's identify as virologists. Let's identify as immunologists. Let's identify as certified individuals. Because if a man can identify as a woman and a woman can identify as a man, and society must accept it, then guess what? And because if you do go out and speak out against anyone in the LGBTQ community, you get censored. Hate speech. Because it goes against the norm of society. So then us identifying as top scientists to sit here, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, all these different platforms, to sit here and silence people because they may identify as an expert about something that you can't tell them because, listen, you and Facebook, you're discriminating. It's not about public safety. Because public safety says, well, we won't allow any hate speech against the immigrant community or the LGBT community or the female community or the black community. We censor and shut down and try and create an area of peace and humanity. This is just crazy. This is just crazy. You go out of your way to censor the people who are trying to tell you the truth, who are trying to share it with you just a very interesting perspective. But no, they don't have any right to speak. No, they do not deserve the right to speak. And folks, I think it's going to get a whole lot worse. Curtis, thank you. Thank you so much. Folks, I got to go to a break. I'm a little bit too hot. not because of COVID. It's just because I'm tired of the nonsense.
And now, Watson at Walmart.
Okay, everyone, put on your masks.
How's my mask?
It's upside down, sweetie.
I'm sorry.
No, sweetie. I'm sorry we're still being bothered by this foolishness.
My mask won't stay on.
1 second. Let me help your little sister first.
Thank you, Daddy.
You're welcome. Okay, let me get your sister. Wrap around the ears, over the nose. There. Let's go.
Sir, you can't come in here without a mask.
What?
Dad, you forgot your mask.
Let's go back to the car. Okay, putting on my useless mask.
Whoa! My mask fell off again. Triggered! Daddy, what's useless?
It's the insanity that says a mask can stop the virus smaller than a mask walking through Walmart, standing in the foyer of a restaurant, and even on a plane.
Triggered! How much American Pride versus coffee did you have today?
I think he really needs New Life Holistics.
Ha ha. Mask is on. Let's go.
Can I push the cart?
Welcome to Walmart.
That person wearing pajamas?
Yes, dear. A lot of people feel really comfortable when they come here, so they don't get dressed.
Wow, look at that person.
Who? What? Oh, Lord. Turn the other way. It's impolite to stare.
Daddy,
Yes, Angel?
why is he showing his bum and his panties? And his butt crack. Yuck.
Whoa, too much information.
Yes, it is. I can't do this. We're out of here.
But aren't we supposed to be buying something?
We can get it from Tarjay. Oh my goodness, it's Friday and I love it. Oh my goodness, we're just having so much fun here. This is the thing about it. As we sit here and we talk about this whole idea of chaos, I'm talking about the idea of operating chaos, lost in the theory. We're in so much trouble. We're in so much trouble here. Oh, I see Carrie Alexander says, I need to be part of that skit with the Target dads. Oh my goodness, that's so hilarious. That's from, oh my goodness, the name of that family. I love what they're doing and they are great. I would love to be part of the Target's dad. That would be so much fun. I would have so much fun here. My website, Battle4Freedom.com. I also want you to go to Mojo50.com. And another place I want you to check out is RomikaDesigns.com. Why? Because Romika Designs can give you the option of, if you go to RomikaDesigns.com/Battle for Freedom, there's a segment there that you can go to that actually has some really cool things. You click the most popular and you can get your tumbler. Ooh, class, let's say, ooh, ah, oh, look at that. It's a nice, cool. You can get either a 20 ounce, you can get a 15 ounce, or you can get even a 30 ounce tumbler for those who just really need it. And, so you have the Battle for Freedom logo on one side, and then you have triggering change, one heartbeat at a time on the other side. It's the Holderness family. Thank you, Kathleen. Yes, the Holderness family. So if you want to, now again, okay, here's my serious bit on this thing. I appreciate your support. I appreciate many of you coming to Facebook.com/Mojo5 Radio, leaving your comments, and I appreciate you laughing with me with the little skits that my family puts together. And I would love for you, if you could, go to Mojo50.com and /donate and just give if you can, or even pick up a Romika Designs if you can. But please have your bills paid off. Please have your budget set aside that you can make purchases and investments like this, because your financial stability, our financial stability, is what matters most for me more than anything else. And once we get there and we can be operating in this, I believe that we could be very successful, all of us. I want us all to succeed. This isn't just about me succeeding, it's about all of us. A 32 ounce margarita size. Hey, if that's what you want to do with your with your Tumblr. I can't tell you what to do with your Tumblr, but I'll ask Ron if he will make a 32-ounce margarita size, and I'll let you know. So we're talking about this whole idea of chaos, folks. Chaos. And one of the things in the chaos that I found that was very, very interesting as we sit here looking at all things truth, all things chaotic here. You remember this young lady here? You remember this young lady who was the virologist who basically told us about the idea that this was leaked. This was a leak. You remember how they decided they were going to censor her? Chinese virologist who was among first to tout Wuhan lab theory says Fauci's emails back up what she's been saying all along. The coronavirus is an unrestricted bioweapon and blast. Fauci, this is what this person has shared. This is from China. From China, Dr. Li Mengyan, who was among the people's first to tout the Wuhan lab, says that this is being confirmed by the Fauci emails. But hey, we can't talk about this because this just may be censored. And I'm glad you ordered one. Thank you so much, Linda, for ordering one. And Sarah, thank you for putting all the sponsors in the comments. We really appreciate you doing that. But this idea that we've been telling you what's been going on for so long. You don't want to listen. You don't care. We have had the supporting evidence of what's been taking place with this virus. But no, we don't have to have that conversation. We don't have to go there. We're just gonna keep people in I'm just going to keep my mouth shut because there's so much I can say right now. There's so much I can say right now. And I'm really troubled. And we've gotten to this point where people can't speak their minds because we have to silence them. We have to silence them because we don't want the truth out. We don't want the truth out, and lives are lost. Yes, please pay your bills first. And Linda, safe travels back to work and enjoy your weekend, okay? Enjoy your weekend. It's so chaotic what's going on right now. We don't have the truth, the whole truth and nothing but the truth on COVID, okay? We don't have the truth on this, but they keep saying it is an accepted majority opinion. But there are dissenting doctors. It is not the majority opinion. Actually, I would dare say that if given the opportunity, if Facebook and YouTube and Twitter stop censoring the people providing the alternative information, it will be very interesting to do a true accurate assessment on how many people agree with the assessment of COVID-19. There were a lot of people, there were a lot of doctors who retired, and I believe that many of them, this is just conjecture on my part, but how many of them retired because of the fact that they saw the bullying language? They saw the bullying language coming from the scientific community on what you can and cannot say about about your theories of the vaccine, about the virus, about election fraud, and so much more, that many of them decided to say, you know what, I'm done. I've put up with a lot of legislation and overreaching processes for so long. I'm done. It's time to retire. My doctor, for many years, he retired last year. It was heartbreaking to see him leave. I love this doctor. He was a really cool, laid-back guy. I wonder how many of them decided to say, I don't want to do this. I don't want to be part of this foolishness. I'm done, and I'm putting an end. Yeah, they're putting their trust in one doctor. And yes, Kathy, Saul Alinsky tactics. Chaos, chaos, and more chaos. So much so, you remember yes, was it last? Yes, it was January. You remember when I had Michelle Ashkenazi, the bail bonds queen from New York, as we were talking about is we were talking about the whole idea of what was taking place in New York and the horrible legislation that they put together to when they turned around and they decided that they were going to put the horrible legislation of putting criminals back out on the street. These unstable people that we know should be in hospitals. We're closing hospitals left and right. We have money. We have money for illegals. We have money. We have $5 million in Ohio to give people to be part of a lottery. We have money for all this, but we don't have money to create more and more hospitals to help those who are mentally disturbed or need psychiatric care. We don't have money for that, but we have money for everything else. Let's just put this up here. Moving truck is seen at Hunter Biden's $5.4 million rental home in Venice Beach as he appears to have moved out of the waterfront property in an area that has been overrun by the homeless. Hunter was reportedly paying $25,000 a month to rent a 3-story property on the Venice canals. Father of 5, Hunter, 51, moved onto the property with the wife Melissa and their son Bo, but at the end of 2020, the president's son has appeared to have moved out, and residents in Venice Beach have complained of an increase of crime and homelessness in an area has risen during the pandemic. Hey, you know, a lot of this stuff was happening even long before the pandemic. Yes, and true, I agree, Kathy. Mental health is a slippery slope because here's the problem that you run into is how do you define mental health? How do you truly define mental health? Your mental health is affected if you get COVID. Your mental health is affected if you smoke pot. You remember how everybody was so happy that they started to make it easier and legalize pot? Get your pot card, and then all of a sudden, some people get their pot card, and now they're not required. They're being banned from owning firearms. Yeah, some people have experienced that, but we don't want to talk about that. Let's make all this stuff free. Make all this stuff freely available. We don't want to tell you about the consequences that comes with making everything free. We don't want to. But here it is. Hunter's moving out, and a lot of people are moving out because of the fact that they understand that they can't maintain the craziness from the homelessness. So what they do is they move out. Oh yeah, we care so much. Let's move away from that for a second, because here's another one. As we sit here and watch the instability of people, could this potentially be playing a part in what's going on here? This one is really disgusting. People are aroused by electrocution. Leaked lecture on pornography literacy given at a $47,000 a year Manhattan school, which Barron Trump used to attend, reveals how 16 and 17-year-old pupils were taught about electroporn. The lecture at Columbia Grammar and Preparatory School was held by Justine Ang Fonte, the director of health and wellness at another Manhattan private school. In the audio, which was played on the Hannity show on Thursday, she could be heard teaching students about how people can be aroused by electrocution videos. This is what they're teaching our teenagers. And then they wonder why many sadistic people are roaming our streets. I so want to scream right now. I so want to scream. And you wonder why our society is as screwed up as it is. Oh my goodness. I'm trying not to scream, but this in and of itself is probably one of the... How in the world do we expect order when we create chaos? We tell teens we're going to give you condoms because you just live out your fantasies. Do whatever you want. Talk to kids about all forms of sexual intimacy, all different ways and views at an early age. We don't have to it's amazing how we are so keen on protecting the sensitivities of grown individuals, but we're not protecting the sensitivities of children. We teach them about sex. We teach them about racism. We teach them about changing their sexual identity. These are the same kids that we didn't separation from church and state. Because somehow God being taught in school is somehow so horrifically damaging that we can teach all this other chaotic stuff, but someone so simple, loving, amazing, just, right, merciful, gracious, can't teach him in school. But to teach our kids to be perverted, to teach kids to warp their understanding of biology, oh, we could do this. To teach them how to perform sex acts, we could do this. Pull your kids out of the schools. I'm telling you, one of the biggest things I'm concerned about sending my kids to school is that some crazy nurse or teacher or school official will feel that they're going to try and convince my kids that they need the COVID shot. My kids that are going to be 5, 7, and 9. If some administration official is going to try and work around our authority to tell our kids, because one of my friends, his dad, a senior citizen, perfectly fine. He goes to the VA hospital. Someone in the VA hospital convinced him that he has to have the COVID shot, convinced him to get the shot without his son present. Manipulated this man into getting a shot. Man's been perfectly healthy, perfectly fine. And they manipulated him into getting the shot. And the thing about it is that there are people like this who operate within our school districts. You mean the teachers who are ramming critical race theory down the throat of our children, they're not manipulating things? I'm not saying all teachers are bad, but just like we shouldn't say all cops are bad, but I really wish that we would have more people speaking up. You want more cops to speak out against bad cops? Then let's also have more teachers speaking out against the bad teachers. Speaking out against the bad officials and administrators who are sitting there because they're violating the rights of the child and they're violating the rights of the parents just to get their way. And anyone who believes that is legitimately, that is something that's safe that you should do, you are an abuser of children. You are a monster. You are a devil deserving burning in hell. When you sit here, I'm saying it, you deserve to burn in hell when you sit there and manipulate children against their will and against the will of the parents. You deserve to die in hell. Period. Double period, exclamation point, and every other emoticon that you could put behind that. Because it is wrong. It is really, really wrong. Yeah, there was this article about this woman named Catherine Watkins, a teacher at Portland's Cedar Park Medical School, where she says, hey, teach critical race theory or you'll be fired. A woke teacher warns colleagues. Jen Layer Butler says, the nurse attempted to get me to vaccinate my daughter when I gave birth and actually lied to me to try to convince me. She was so misinformed. I'm just glad I was prepared with my stance years before I had ever had children. Amen. But so many people are informed because they're pressured into believing. This is for the better of everybody. If you love your grandma, if you love your grandparents, if you love your friends, if you want to keep playing with your friends on the schoolyard, get your vaccine. Oh, trust me, that language is coming. Trust me, that language is coming. Lord Jesus, please help us. I'm just... Whew. I've been holding that one in for a little bit there. I've been holding that one in for a while. Yes, because this isn't over, folks. They're not done. They're not done making our lives miserable. Here was another one that was very interesting, and this is really sad because of the fact that this one parent has spoken out against critical race theory. Here's my thing is, if every voice needs to be heard, why do you have to mute the voices of those who don't agree with critical race theory? If you believe that every voice has a right to be heard, why go out of your way to mute those who do not agree with critical race theory? Here's a parent dealing with this foolishness. So this young lady, we won't be canceled. Parent is flipped off on camera by neighbor as she tells how residents of a affluent D.C. suburb have turned on her after she spoke out against critical race theory being taught in schools. TV cameras caught the moment that a Washington, D.C. parent was flipped off by a neighbor as she explained how friends and family had turned on her because she spoke out against teaching of critical race theory in her kids' schools. Jessica Mendez, a mother of 2 children in the Loudoun County public school system, she says that she has been branded a racist after attempting to block the controversial lessons. I had my own family openly criticizing me and asked me, what's wrong with me? Why don't I understand? But during the interview, a neighbor walks past the background and raises 2 middle fingers at Mendez in the camera. She said, I thought I had a good friend. I'm really hurt now because I thought that we had a rapport, that I could be a conservative and that she could be a liberal and we could still be friends. I guess I was wrong. See, this is you want to talk about operating in the chaos, because we were told for so long, you got to be loving. You've got to embrace it. Embracing. You got to be inclusive, right? You got to stop being intolerant. But look at the language of intolerance. If you don't support the vaccine, if you don't believe the origins of the virus, if you don't believe in the results of the election, if you don't support critical race theory, if you don't support woke theology, that you are intolerant. But they are intolerant towards you having an opinion different from theirs. Yes, Carrie. Ignorance and disrespect is rampant. Saul Alinsky again, Kathy. This is exactly Saul Alinsky. Does the middle finger mean that you're number one? Yeah, yes. Yes. I've got to laugh at that because I'm on the teetering edge of just wanting to scream my head off, and I'm just going to continue to be. I share this and I talk about this this issue of chaos theory because it's nothing but chaotic to believe that we can continue to promote this foolishness. Oh my goodness, Lord, help us. Oh my goodness, help us. This is nothing but a nightmare. Why do we even... I'm sorry. I'm trying not to scream. But this is heartbreaking as we watch this thing unfold. This is heartbreaking as we watch this thing unfold because it's not going to get any better. It's completely chaotic. This is what happens when you take God out of schools, out of society. This is what happens when you take God out of school, out of society, and you expect that things are going to get better. No, it does not. It does not get better. Lord help us. I'm heartbroken because of the fact that there are a lot of people who don't believe that that this can be. A lot of people don't believe that this can be fixed. It can be fixed, but it means us trusting in God with everything that we have. And a lot of us have to get very violent and protective of our kids, of our society, and so much more. It is so chaotic, it's not even funny. Our lives are so chaotic, we can't control anything. We're constantly moving. We won't stop. This passage, be still and know I'm God. Psalm 46:10. Be still and know that I am God. In the midst of the chaos, in the midst of everything going on, the weekend's upon us, okay? There's so much that needs to be done. There's so much I need to be done. There's like behind the camera, there's a lot of chaos going on here. There's a lot of chaos going on. And I'm trying to clear up my chaos so I could think clearer, I could function better. But look at how they keep us in a constant state of flux that we don't have a chance to really survive. Because everything is chaotic. Everything is chaotic. Everything is chaotic. I mean, think about this right now, how they're manipulating this. They're offering people $1 million, a chance to win $1 million. They're not giving people $1 million. They're giving them a chance to $1 million, not a guaranteed chance. You have a higher chance of dying from the COVID vaccine than winning the lottery. You have a higher probability of dying from the vaccine and the virus than winning this lottery. But they're trying to increase your chance of dying from the vaccine by paying you money to take the vaccine. Why don't they do this with other vaccines? Why wasn't there a drive? Why weren't there lotteries to get the flu vaccine, tuberculosis vaccine? Why weren't there drives and even sweepstakes, lotteries to get the, what is it, B and C? What are those? Not tetanus shot, but why are they pushing this so hard? I mean, you literally, the part that breaks my heart more than anything else is the number of churches. Dr. Simone, she's back out there, and she said something last Friday that's really powerful that you need to listen to. She talks about the reality or the scariness of this vaccine and everything that they're pushing, and she'll be censored again. Yeah, that's right. That's right, Carrie. You do you, I'll do me. And yes, Carolyn, it is a false hope. But I saw this attitude of gratitude. Let's go positive here. If you have a story, send it to me at b4faog@gmail.com because I want to try and end this off on a positive note and send us in the right direction. But I saw this I saw this video the other day, and I just thought it was really, really cute because it was about this dog. Check this out. And this is about this dog is having seizures, and the other dog goes back to save it. So the one dog is having seizures, the other one goes out to save it. And the reason why I share this one is because of the fact that we need to be paying close attention to our loved ones, our neighbors, our friends, because what's being injected into society is killing us faster than we ever could imagine. The pressures to adopt and comply is a danger to our society. We're losing our freedoms on a daily basis. It's being sanctioned by we the people. I'm your host, Watson, Pretty for Battle for Freedom. Take care. Enjoy your weekend. I'm out.